What a beautiful day. We want to appreciate you so much, even as we speak to you, our ardent followers. What a beautiful day. I know you are over there and you are wondering what is the story today. I happen to visit, okay? I happen to visit court. Of course, I know that as a father, you have a duty, you have a responsibility to teach your very own children. Again, I'm saying you have a duty to teach your very own child how to dress. And this is a duty that you are not supposed to leave to your wife alone. Now I'm talking to you. Mm, because these are issues that affect us men. In most cases, we just like shouting on top of our voices. Hi, your daughter, how is she dressed? Look. You are dressing the mother. No. This time round, I'm telling you, go and address your daughter one on one with her and tell her, look here, sweetheart, this is not how to dress. This is how you should dress. Dress in a manner that will not embarrass you, that will not embarrass yourself, even your father, even your mother, even your family, even your friends. Whoever knows you, that should be your language. And men, I'm charging you to take a keen attention on the girl child, because these matters are affecting a girl child. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because I happen to attend a court case. One of the girls who was badly dressed didn't know that actually there was another man who was pursuing her along those corridors where she was walking. Innocently, she didn't know that a gentleman was looking at her. But how she was dressed was really not good. Maybe it could have enticed this middle-aged man also to follow her and to do something that we call rape. When she came back home, she reported the matter, and eventually they managed to identify that young man, and it became a court issue. However, when a report came to the court now, they're asking this gentleman that, why did you do this? Why did you get engaged in this kind of thing? Why did you violate this girl's rights? Now, their family was also a well-off family. They had a very good lawyer who was also very highly reasonable and a man who knows the law. So he mentored this young man. Looks like he mentored this young man how to reason himself in court. And eventually, this gentleman came out clean. How? Lawyers, you are very funny. You are very funny. You sometimes make people who are guilty to escape. However, this one here, I am addressing the parents because I'm also a father. You saw my daughter around there, and I'm already telling her, my friend, dress well, as small as she is. If you don't tell her from now, she will not know. Now, when they were at court, this gentleman was asked, did you rape this girl? And the fellow accepted, yes. And he said, since you have accepted, actually, you are now in for it. We shall hide you a little bit from the public and ensure you learn manners, not to undress people publicly and to rape them. Then finally, when he said yes, but at the time I was doing it, I was not myself. What? That at the time I was doing it, I was not myself. I was shattered emotionally. I lost my ability to control myself as a man because I saw a woman who was walking and she was not well dressed. And I started having pictures in my mind. And this is exactly what made me to do this kind of thing. What? This is your lawyers, you're mentoring people who are actually guilty to come out clean. And then the judge says, you were not well, you were not sane, you were not in control of your senses, even of your body. That yes, Your Majesty, the judge. Ah, this is an issue, by the way. And everybody else is quiet and listening. And they're wondering what next. And then finally he said, Majesty the judge, let that girl, let that lady go back home and put on exactly how she was putting on and let her come here. The case is advancing. And indeed, they had to ensure that this girl returns home, comes exactly dressed the way she was. And on that day, she was really dressed in something that was very skimpy, exposing her thighs. And you can literally see through that this is how she's dressed. Even what is inside, her inner dressing, the linings of her inner dressing could easily be traced and seen with your naked eyes. And then she asked one thing, that now let this lady, your majesty the judge, let this lady bend down, drop your pen down, and let her pick it and give it back to you. People say, now what is this again? This lady, the pen, the judge said, have you heard? Young woman, have you heard? Yes. I am going to drop my pen down there. You will pen, pick it, and get it back to my desk here. When the pen was dropped, my friend, are you hearing? It was very difficult for this girl to pick this pen because how skimpily she was dressed. It was difficult for her to pick this pen because as you try to bend, the dress is becoming uglier and uglier. And the women at court were like, this is not good to see. This is not good to see. This is really weird. And they're like, no, 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 no. You should learn to dress. This is not how to dress. She struggled. Now you can imagine how she struggled to pick this pen. I think she wished that her skirt would at least grow a little longer. Then she would comfortably pick this pen and put it up. What? And the judge said, now I have seen. This is how you were dressed. That yes. Were you comfortable when you're picking the pen? No. And the gentleman also asked who was guilty. They said, now this is exactly the reason why I became insane, disorganized, confused. This is the reason why I lost my senses. I am a man with normal body organs. That in fact, when I looked through and I spotted, I could not take my eyes off. I started imagining that I was already doing something with her. And Your Majesty, the judge, this is how I ended. But I am sorry, I did not intend. And the house was like, oh, 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 oh. Yes. And I'm telling you, this lady was advised by all ladies. They said, no, woman, we are saying go back and learn to dress. It is your dressing that enticed this fellow here to actually do what he did. So you are on the wrong for this. And I'm telling you, the judge concluded this matter on the spot because everybody was saying, no, she needs to go back to learn how to dress. Now she has been raped, but now they're advising her, go back home and learn to dress. This man was told never again to do it. And he repented and said, I will not do it again. But it is my prayer that women should dress well, girls should dress well. And that is it. So this comes back to us, the parents. You either teach them to dress well or they will become victims of the situation. She's dressed well innocently. She knows she's putting on well. But anyway, being indecent caused her to be raped. And this is something very, very bad. So, the duty, number one, to you, the men. Are you hearing? Number two, even to you, the wives, because you are more closer to the girl child than even women. And this is very true. I hope we will do our responsibility and ensure that our children are decently dressed. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.